should probably be playing Chris Webby's song at the beginning of this live. If you guys haven't heard it yet, it is quite shocking. You can tell he's not a controlled opposition, that's for sure. And I knew that actually. I knew that as soon as he in the summer was posting about Daiquat, I'm like, yeah, this guy's obviously aware. He knows what's going on and is not controlled. Okay, hold on. Telegram. Paper Doll, what's going on? Do you hear what's about to possibly be kicking off here? This is freaking shocking, man. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we have a lot to unpack on tonight's. A lot has happened in the last even just 36 hours. At least this we can see, like every day, more clarity comes with what is likely going to happen. And it's a lot more clear today than it was yesterday. There may be some small details that we don't quite know yet, but like we kind of get the picture of what they're going to try to do with this thing. Shout out to all the new people too. We got Damien, we got Capaldi, we got Girl Canadian. Shout out to Girl Canadian. And Will, of course. Shout out to Will. Crisis King. Shout out to Crisis King. Colton. Okay. Hold on a second. Shout out to Lewis, man. I know that's not quite your name, but you know what I mean. Just having fun with it. Shout out to Indiana Jones as well. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly shout out the live on Instagram here, and then we'll get right into the most shock. Oh wow, U.S. Bank Tower in L.A. was just acquired by Larry Silverstein. The same Larry Silverstein who owned the Twin Towers. That is a bit sus. Okay, hold on. Let me shout out the live. Dude, shout out to Ish, man. Ish, I'm about to hype you up even more on it, man. Shout out to Ish, dude. Congratulations. I'm stoked for you, brother. Okay, so lockdown. Hold on a sec. Oh, and did you hear what they're saying about California is going to be drone striked or whatever? Iran could drone strike. And then I saw a guy say that Iranians they put a drone mothership up somewhere. It's all just so unbelievable, man. It sounds like a false flag is imminent. Hopefully, it's one where no one is harmed, because there's varying degrees of false flags, right? Some of them are just, you know, where people actually get hurt. Others are where they don't. Groovy's Beach said, "Hey, I'm traveling from Arizona to Las Vegas. You're fine, dude. I'm sure you're going to be fine. Like, I don't know if I'd be flying into like Iran right now, but I mean, I would probably drive a state over, no problem. It might cost you more though in gas." Denmark lockdown, energy lockdown. Yeah, I mean, this is distracting something. Let's close that. Okay, worldwide. Eventually, by the way, we won't need to have this like minute at the beginning of the live when I shout out my Rumble on Instagram, because everyone will have their live notifications on. Not literally everyone, but you know what I mean. The U.S. announced that it would release 172 million barrels from its strategic petroleum reserve. I know, Fedone. I feel like that's on borrowed time. You know what I mean? I feel like it's on borrowed time. Like they could release some barrels of oil, but there's still oil wells in California, even in Los Angeles, that are hidden that look like a normal building with like windows and everything, but it's actually an oil well inside of it. It's like those fake houses in suburbs that's really like the substation for the neighborhood. You know what I mean? They have those for so my point is though is that oil is not what they say it is, put it that way. Is it running out? That's what they told us. Welcome everyone. So I don't know if you guys heard, but the government of Denmark is now urging people and pleading them to please stay home, save lives. No, I'm just kidding. That was 2020. Stay home, save gas. It's an energy crisis. They're trying to reduce their usage of gasoline and diesel. And here's the crazy part. At first, it's a suggestion. Then is it going to be, no, actually, you can't drive? Apparently, this happened in the 70s, by the way. Depending on how old you are, in the 70s, you may have experienced this already, where it was like only certain days of the week you could fill up your gas. Capri Sun, I don't even know you. Why would I just randomly let you on the live, dude? Do I got to be careful? I mean, I appreciate you and everything, man, but like, no, I don't let people I don't know just randomly on the live. You could do something crazy, man. But anyways, Lobster Sock says that makes no sense as most of the Danes walk or bike everywhere. I know they almost have them in like a perfect, driverless car situation anyway, but I'm telling you right now, they're going to do this and then they're probably going to either say, look how much of the climate we saved when we drove less. Let's actually mandate that people can drive less or can only use such an amount of gasoline per XYZ amount of time, right? Obviously that's coming. I'm sorry if you think this is just, you know, yeah, they're really trying to save the oil. Listen, we've already had this discussion. I have books on it. Oil is not what they say. It's not this thing that's willy-nilly running out. Uh, it's actually something far more serious than that. And I used to make posts about it. It's called Origins of Oil. Um, but dude, it is a seriously censorable thing. They don't want you knowing this thing is renewable and never runs out and is more plentiful. It's the second most abundant liquid on Earth next to water, and it never runs out. They don't want you knowing that. So we're going to be discussing a deep dive on the truth about the oil, the climate lockdowns that may be coming, or the energy lockdowns is what they're going to call it. And where this is all headed, it's going to be like 2020, but different, maybe a little bit wilder in some ways. But I don't want to do the full deep dive on here for obvious reasons, such as I've gotten strikes in the past for talking about fluoride. So I'm going to avoid that, getting any more strikes, and we're going to carry this live over to Rumble. There's already 80 people on. If you want to tune in, click the link in my bio and click the Rumble link. That takes you to Rumble. It's free to download, free to watch, and free speech. Prickless said, why are you keeping an eye on Danish situation? Well, because global current events or flat planal current events, you can see a lot about what's coming around the corner when they do some certain things in other countries. Think about China with their facial recognition. You don't think they want to do that over here too? That's like the model for the rest of the world, man. Shout out to Nashville. He said, if you shave, no one will take you serious. I've been told I should be shaving because no one's taking me serious now. So you never win. You never. You know what I mean? Okay, so listen, we're live on Rumble right now. Get your freaking bottom dollars over to Rumble right now, man, because this is absolutely going down. And we also have like 25 other crazy things that happened in the last 36 hours that needs to be discussed. There's a massive deception that is literally bigger than what happened in 2020 coming around the corner. Financial reset, digital ID, you name it. They're going to try to push it. I don't think they'll win. I think the human freedom is going to completely prevail, but there's definitely a plan. So anyways, come on over to Rumble. It's free to download, free to watch, and free speech. And alternatively, you can comment the word Rumble on any one of my posts, and you will get the link sent directly to your direct messages. All right. Not on this live, but on my posts. Okay, we'll see you guys on Rumble. All right. Yeah, the Uyghurs. I remember the Uyghurs. That whole story. That was wild, man. The guy tried to. So, yeah, the Uyghurs got. I remember learning about that. They harvested their organs and stuff. You guys know about the Uyghurs in China? I'm sure they'd love to do that just about everywhere and jam everyone into smart cities. That was the weird thing about it, is that they made these cities, they called them ghost cities. And it's why China is gonna. There could be an economic collapse in China too. Of course, it wouldn't be like, it's not just the West that they want to collapse. It's all countries to then make a new global economy, one world order or new world order, one world. Fuck, who knows what? Like religion, like who knows? New world order, right? But China too, for the longest time, it's sold. Everyone in China has been investing. Their retirements aren't in like a 401k or maybe something similar, but one of the biggest things in China is investing in real estate, where they tell everyone, if you invest in these new empty cities, we're building these cities for the future generations, and you can buy a condo now, help bankroll the development of these cities, and then eventually like people are going to move in because the population's rising, and you'll make all this money because it'll be worth a lot more because we only have so much space. um but now like those ghost cities, so they call them ghost cities, no one's in there, they just pay people to like sweep them. And then but they're crumbling. It was the shittiest concrete. They're falling into the ground, and it's about to be a collapse over there too. But that's where they jammed some of the Uyghurs. So they went into rural China. They took these different looking Chinese people from way far away from where you expect Chinese people to be living in the major cities. They live, might as well be in Russia. And they literally rounded them up and brought them into cities, gave them cell phones, gave them digital ID, and then made them work, and they tracked them and traced them. It was the creepiest. It's a trippy rabbit hole, man, for sure. Shout out to Jorgel Mingle, man. What's going on? So, just so you guys know, three things just happened that are pretty strange. And this is why people are saying we should probably have our eyes open for a potential false flag. For one, they're saying that Iranians have a mothership, a drone mothership somewhere that could launch a bunch of drones and strike the West Coast. I'm like 99% sure most people in Iran aren't really thinking about the West Coast, but their government apparently, I'll tell you the other side of the story, but this is the new fear mongering thing. You could get drone striked in California apparently now by Iranian motherships. So then Jimmy Kimmel on his show said, "Did you? We could barely survive a writer's strike. We can't survive a drone strike." And the audience laughs, and then he says, "No, but really, Iran, if you're listening to me, uh, Trump wants you." So there's a multi-layers of multi-facets of psyops here. He says Trump wants you to bomb us, and in fact, if you don't, maybe he'll bomb us and blame it on you. I'll tell you that. Something to that effect. So he basically insinuated that Trump would do a false flag on California to then justify like more bombs or more warfare and go after Iran even more. That to me was like soft disclosure, because that's not the first or only, or that's like that suggestion of an inside job. I mean, many things have been psyopy, inside job, and false flags, right? Anyways, so people are probably freaked out about that. All it takes is like this powder keg is about ready to pop, man. And fear not, but just listen. Iranian drones, energy lockdowns. Larry Silverstein just bought the US Bank Tower in Los Angeles. The last towers I think he owned were the World Trade Center, Tower 1 and Tower 2. And we know what happened there. I think that would be a little bit obvious, though. I don't know if they have the gall or wherewithal to like do something to that building right after he buys it. Like people would be putting two and two together, probably a bit too much. And then the last thing, or there's no last, there's a million things. But Ted Cruz also said that the potential for terrorist attacks and whatnot is like at an all-time high. Sleeper cells, there's sleeper cells all throughout the United States, is what they're saying. But what I think is the psyop part of it is like, for one, Ted Cruz, Trump, all of them, they cannot talk about sleeper agents without having to make sure they throw Democrats, like the damn Democrats, like they let him in, blah, blah, blah. I think half these guys would probably be, if not all of them, a part of intelligence agencies' operations anyway, because you got to create the problem, reaction, solution, right? So just like 9/11, what happened there? Problem, reaction, solution. So, in other words, it's not the Dems, it's not the Republicans. I think there's a hidden hand pulling the strings that is setting this whole thing up to put us into a world war, to cause an economic collapse, and then eventually try to pull this whole new world order thing. And it would come by way of, like, for example, before COVID, the conspiracy was kind of like the media is underreporting this virus, and in fact, it's a bigger deal than they're making it out to be. So, like, beware. And then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, this is a virus, and it's a lockdown. Well, we're seeing Denmark already doing this energy lockdown. We're seeing all of Asia. Dude, I don't know if you know, people from Vietnam and Thailand and shit are commenting on my posts, like going wild about sending me pictures of lineups out the yin yang to get gas. There's way less of it. It's more money. India, all their natural gas comes through the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know what's about to happen to India. And there's like 1 trillion tons or liters or something of fertilizer stuck in the Strait of Hormuz, which is supposed to fertilize next year's crops. Like, dude, it's kind of setting up to be quite a shitstorm. I will say, though, the only way they're able to pull off the throw the rock and hide the hand, the only way they're able to pull off that this is an organic conflict is, of course, with help of the media, but also with the fact that for decades now, because we know the United States is the stage, is the front of the stage. Like I'm saying, it's on the world stage. The US is their most important thing to deal with because they're the country that would have the biggest fight against a totalitarian digital technocracy enslavement plan, right? I don't know that Ghana or Mongolia or even Denmark is going to put up as much of a fight as the US would if they tried to do some crazy fucking AI controlled dictatorship, right? And so that is why the US is at the forefront of this. And I say this as a Canadian, many of you know. I recognize that America is the front line of this thing, which is why it cringes me when other countries are like, oh, America, and they talk shit about America, especially with the food. Whereas I empathize, if I can pronounce that correctly, with America, because first thing in Canada, we have just as shitty as food. We might have a couple different colors that are a bit different. They're still from petroleum and they're still toxic. And I guess like portion sizes are different, but you know, we still have shit food over here with GMOs out the yin yang, right? They have targeted the US specifically with the chemicals and contaminants and preservatives and the fast food and the, you know, who knows what's in McDonald's meat, by the way, because it's a plan to make them in a lowered state so that they can do and pull this shit without having an uprising because guys have low testosterone, girls are upside down, their hormones are out the wazoo, and they have atrazine getting into our water supply, which reverses the gender of frogs. What do you think that does to, and now of course the 5G, that's right, Niv said they can now read minds through 5G. I don't know, maybe they've already been able to do that with the nanobots, but my point is that clearly there's a reason. If everything happens for a reason, why is America's food supply a little bit more polluted by a long shot than many other countries? Because they need to try to stop that spirit of freedom, the spirit of freaking revolution from fostering and festering and then overflowing and then having true human freedom. So that's why it's imperative to be of sound mind and sound body right now, in more important than any other time in history, to make sure that your pineal gland's not calcified, you're not full of BPA and microplastics and heavy metals and phthalates and atrazine, which, I mean, I say this, but it's true. If you've had any non-organic greens and like a ton of vegetables too, are sprayed with atrazine. So if you've consumed that today, the last week, it's in your bloodstream right now. And that's the one that Tyrone Hayes did try his very best to expose. He even did a TED talk on it, that he thinks there's a plan to like make guys feminized to disrupt the family unit and then to be able to take over the country way fucking easier because every guy's testosterone levels are off a cliff. And that's like, I know it's not a very comfortable thought, is it? That there'd be like a secret covert chemical warfare, but what do you call it when we can do all these crazy things on fucking Mars apparently, but we can't pull trace pharmaceuticals and birth control out of the tap water. We can put a funny emission system into diesel vehicles to reduce the emissions, but we can't figure out how to pull out birth control from the tap water, which is causing infertility in even fish. So I digress. Before we get into the other side of the World War III story that's kicking off tonight, we are giving away 4 or 5 bags of the chocolate powder on the live tonight, $100 value, organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which massively stimulates stem cell production. It's super detoxing and delicious. Plus, it's believed to, well, it does actually stimulate the production of bliss chemicals, which is tryptophan, dopamine, and serotonin. And all the antioxidants in here bind to free radicals and contaminants and excrete them out of the body. So if you're taking the chocolate powder, not only are you detoxing, but it's boosting your, we can say, vibrational frequency over here because of the bliss chemicals, and it's really good for your gut microbiome. By the way, just a quick thing to note, a healthy human body is supposed to contain more bacterial cells than human cells. So if you're drinking tap water, showering in it, eating food that's cooked with it, if it's strong enough to kill the bacteria in the tap water, it's strong enough to kill the bacteria in your gut microbiome, which is supposed to be have a very strong microbiome of different bacteria that's supposed to help you with your immune system, digestion, freaking inflammation, all this stuff. So that's another part of their plan. That's half the reason these chemicals are in there, is to disrupt your gut microbiome. That's actually in their crosshairs. So we're giving away 4 or 5 bags of the chocolate powder tonight. The way the deal works, it is first come, first serve. So you got to be on your toes here. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. That goes to choq.com. So Choq is based in Texas. They ship out of Georgia. They have an all-American customer service team, and they have over 5,000 third-party verified 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. I've been partnered with them since 2019. Who knows how many pineal glands have been decalcified because people decided that they wanted to take superfoods and want to boost their vibrational frequency and their fertility. We also have, like, dude, I'm talking Choq babies, man. People who are infertile took Choq, super pro fertility, and now have children. In fact, I guess I have 2 Choq children myself, in fact, because I was taking it before and during and after. So now listen, the way the deal works to get the free lit powder, $100 bags of chocolate powder. I can't believe they're doing this. It's first come, first serve. The number 1 supplement at choq.com for men and women is the hot water purified Shilajit, which is a hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It stimulates the production of new brain cells, which is called neurogenesis. So that's how you get way sharper memory, concentration, and focus. It boosts testosterone for men, and it calibrates your endocrine system for women. So it's super pro-fertile. That's also, it has a compound in it called C60 or carbon 60, which has anti-aging effects. So that's a cool one to do a deep dive on. So the Shilajit's number 1 supplement for men and women. The second most popular superfood for men and women at choq.com is the organic ashwagandha, which massively increases melatonin production. You get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. It's a hormone optimizer. It's considered the king of herbs in India. It's pro-fertile, and ours is 14 times as potent as conventional ashwagandha that's found on Amazon. We have a whole write-up about it on the bottle, which is a big deal. Like, dude, people are buying ashwagandha because they hear it's beneficial. They buy the Shanghai Surprise, which is literally because most ashwagandha is farmed in China. And they don't feel any benefits from it, or they're getting, what, parsley? Like, who knows what they put in it. So ours is legit, organic ashwagandha, wildcrafted, or certified organic rather, and clinically studied. There's 46 clinical studies on the Choq ashwagandha. So to get the free $100 bags of the chocolate powder, first come, first serve, go to choq.com, choq.com, put the male or female vitality stack in your cart, and then in addition to the freebie, you're getting 44% off for life on your subscription with the discount code 44life. So that's 44LIFE. When you apply that discount on your subscription, you get 44% off for life. You can cancel or modify at any time, and you're getting the free bag of chocolate powder in your order. The third superfood in the female stack is the Wildcrafted Irish Moss, which has the full matrix of minerals. It boosts your brain function massively because those minerals rebuild your DNA and bind to free radicals and boosts your gut microbiome. And yes, we shipped Johnston. You can ask Choq on the chat, on the live chat, if they can do something for you with the duties. The exchange is the exchange rate, but the duties or border fees, something may be able to be worked on that. Just ask Choq on the live chat. Panzer Poppy said, Shane, I'll be retired at the end of May. Wow, dude. I thought you were like only halfway through your career. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That will take the muzzle off me and allow me to do what you do. Dude, shout out to Panzer Poppy, man. So, guys, you won't know who he is, but I tell you right now, if you knew truly who he was, it's a household name. Let's just say we got some seriously influential people on here. So Panzer Bobby at the end of May is going to be. We'll probably do a stream together, Panzer. That's crazy, dude. Congratulations, man. Shout out to Panzer. Good timing too, because by the end of May, who knows what they're going to be pulling at that point. Then the third one, and Panzer, by the way, he takes, I don't know what he's taken. He takes a ton of chalk. I think he takes the Irish moss too, actually. In the male stack, the third superfood for men, other than the Shilajit and the ashwagandha, is the Tongkat 100, which is certified wild-crafted Tongkat Ali from Malaysia. Shout out to King of Bees. Wild-crafted Tongkat Ali, 100-to-1 extract. It boosts free testosterone 87% in 21 days. And it increases sperm count, sperm motility, and muscle mass, muscle endurance, and muscle recovery. So Tongkat is a superfood. It's a household name in Malaysia. They'll tell you all about it if you go there. And I can tell you that when I first started taking only the chalk daily, because chalk didn't even have the Tongkat yet, I was taking the chalk daily for like 90 days. I was looking back at some old stories that I had up, which were turned into highlights. And that was 6 years ago. I guess 7, wow. Dude, my voice got deeper. 24, 25 years old. Before and after taking chalk, my voice got deeper. So it's not like I got hit puberty in between. You know, my voice should have been kind of where it's at. It got deeper because testosterone affects your vocal cords, gives you a deeper voice. Of course, there's, if you got no testosterone, you sound like like a penguin, man, like squeaky, right? So anyways, I was shocked because I was eating organic up until that point and afterwards thinking like I'm good. But little do people know, organic today, even buying it from the grocery store, of course, you get organic. It's better than the conventional, but like it's not fully clean. And also because it's mass like harvested, it's a monoculture, and a lot of it's shipped in from all over the place. It's not the same vibration, man, as the soil is not the same as what it used to be 60 years ago, 70 years ago. And it's also a little bit strange because even if you're eating 100% organically today, you're getting less than 10% of the full matrix of minerals. So you do want to make sure you get the full matrix of minerals to experience not only be able to detox all the heavy metals, because minerals bind to heavy metals and excrete them out of the body. So that's how I detox metals: Shilajit, Irish moss, the chocolate powder, but also the fact that every single vitamin requires a mineral to activate it. So if you're not getting the full matrix of minerals, you're not even absorbing all the vitamins from your food that you're eating in the first place. You know what I mean? So to get the free lit, a bunch of people are on the site right now. Put the male or female vitality stack in your cart. Apply the discount code 44life. You get a 44% off lifetime discount, which is insane. And then once you place your order, automatically you're going to get the free lit powder included in your order. You're not going to see it on your order form, but it will be placed into your box the next 4 or 5 people. Shout out to Girl Canadian and Nix. Nix, one quick shout out to Nix, man. Never mind. I'll DM you, dude. So Strong As is talking about, what is he talking about? Yeah, that's right, dude. That is so funny. Strong As, I should make a post about that. They're telling us to like save energy, like buy an energy efficient light bulb or whatever. But they're setting up zillions of computers in warehouses and using zillions of watts to keep them cool. Dude, you're freaking right, man. The ocean is going to warm. Wow, Dial made a good point. He said, water is the best heat sink. Underwater processing is ideal, but the environmentalists are like, oh my gosh, the ocean is going to warm. I mean, I guess that part of the ocean, but dude, I don't think you could heat up the ocean to any substantial amount, even if you tried. It's too big, man. And not to mention, it's connected to the waters outside of the ice wall, which is even more ocean. You're not going to be able to cool down the ocean, man. Greenhouse gases are fake, and climate change is fake. It's all about weather modification. Shout out to Soul Wizard, who's getting the Male Stack Ultra right now. Shout out to Soul Wizard. I'll hold a slot for you to get the free lit. You'd be the first one to get the to be eligible to get the free lit. So if you place your order, just make sure you put the discount code 44life on the subscription, Soul Wizard, and I'll make sure you get that free bag of chocolate powder. And by the way, that's a lifetime discount. You can cancel or modify it at any time. But keep in mind, the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days. By the way, Strong As, I've heard that nuclear power plants are really just okay. Do you guys know that nuclear, right? There's videos of this guy holding like radioactive elements many, many years ago, putting it in his mouth, like holding it, playing with it, like it's like, radium or some shit. And he's like, it's not dangerous. It's not toxic. It's fine. And then he got whacked. And then it's interesting because apparently, that would be crazy. Hold on, I'll read some of you guys in a second. Apparently, the leader of Germany in World War II didn't believe in nuclear science. He thought it was fake. There's a quote, and he said that it's fake science, basically. And so when now, decades and decades later, almost 100 years later, people are talking about how like nukes are fake, nuclear bombs don't exist. Then what's nuclear energy? Well, someone said that nuclear energy is just a um, what's it called when you just boil water and it turns a turbine with the steam. But I know someone might work at a nuclear power plant and be like, no, dude, there is like nuclear material, but who knows? Does anyone work in a nuclear? Is anyone like Homer Simpson in a power plant, man? Let me know. I know the radiation from like the inverters and freaking all that radiation is shit for you. Maybe that's what makes people sick in nuclear power plants. Is not anything to do with the nuclear. It's the amount of electricity flowing around you, the dirty electricity, the electromagnetic frequency emissions that are coming off that stuff. Maybe that's what I bet you, dude. Wow. But then what happened in Chernobyl? Because shit grew back faster than they thought. Like everything in Chernobyl, there's all kinds of animals and stuff that shouldn't even live there right now, but do. But what was Chernobyl then? And everyone evacuated. Could that have been a psyop to make people think nuclear fallout is real? I wonder. Anyways, someone should do a documentary on that real quick so we can figure out. Oh, by the way, today, yeah, that's crazy, brother. If Katie's on, that meme is crazy about BAAL, ball. We're being sprayed with two things, BAAL, which is barium and aluminum, which spells out ball, and it's like satanic, right? Our society is so dumbed down and indoctrinated that anyone who is able to think critically is perceived as a conspiracy theorist. Yes, that's true. I thought that more people would wake up once they found out the conspiracies weren't conspiracies. Yeah, I thought so too. But I mean, there is bajillions of people who are waking up. So hilariously, the fittest flat earther, like DM'd me today and said that I'm like a coward or something. And then when I went to reply, he blocked me. So I still am not able to get through to that guy. I don't know if I ever will, but it's all good. It's kind of water under the bridge at this point. But I think it's probably because remember that one guy on the live the other night I had to ban because he just wouldn't shut up about Tyler Hansen, man. He was getting all heated about it, and I said, dude, just pipe it down. Maybe he went back because he was in Tyler Hansen's little group there, apparently. I say little group. I don't know what size the group is. Maria said, my mother's brother worked in Chernobyl and some of his friends died early. Yeah, I know. So that's why I wonder, or I don't know that, but sorry to hear that, Maria. But I wonder, like, what the true story is about that because with the whole, there's okay. So I don't know everything, right? Obviously, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I talk about stuff as I know and as I figure it out, but I'm not a know-it-all. Some of you who are smart go and watch on either BitChute or it's probably on Rumble too, and type in nukes are fake or nuclear bombs aren't real, there's a 4-hour documentary, and check it out, because then we have other questions afterwards. Shout out to Soul Wizard, who just got, dude, Soul Wizard, what did you get, man? Soul Wizard, give me your order number ASAP so I can send it to Chalk to make sure you get the free bag of freaking lit powder. Congratulations to Soul Wizard, who's the first, and now we only have 4 left, of the bags of chocolate powder to give away for free in people's orders. Shout out to Soul Wizard. He's getting the free lit powder included. You're going to love it, dude. You can eat it dry by the spoon. Literally, probably half of the people on this live right now have had the chocolate or have the chocolate literally right now in their house, in their cupboards, or on their table as we speak. So shout out to Soul Wizard. You're going to love your lit powder, man. His order number is, let me, boom, bang, bang. Dude, Soul Wizard, that's an excellent choice, man. So he went with the Ultra Stack because usually Chalk does like a micro 10, 20% off discount, 44% off for life on your subscription with the code 44life on the male or female stack, and you get the free lit powder included. That is freaking smoking, man. Dialed, it's called, whatchamacallit, nuclear bombs are, let me look it up for you real quick here. Let me just quickly go. I think it's on Rumble. By the way, I'm like 99% sure that Tim Pool is obviously controlled opposition, probably, or just okay. So Cultivate Elevate has some good videos, seemingly, on fake nukes. But the one I'm looking for, oh yeah, he's really posting about it. Oh yeah, by the way, this Friday, tomorrow, is Friday the 13th. Having Friday the 13th before the Ides of March, the last time that happened was 2020. We know what happened in 2020. So that's pretty crazy, man. Shout out to Soul Wizard. He said, I got to thank you for doing these lives. Otherwise, I'd probably never hear about the products. Well, it's interesting, Soul Wizard, because you do hit a different audience on Rumble, like deep dive discussion. Like you guys may see me post something cool about Chalk in my stories, but you're like, oh, like, is he just kind of posting this for fun? But it's like a real thing, man. Like this is what I do to detox, to rejuvenate, to restore my system from all the chemicals and contaminants we're exposed, you know, to. And so, dude, I'm glad that you came on the live, Soul Wizard. Shout out to Soul Wizard. You're going to love it, man. By the way, consistent dose, clinically studied benefits. You want to make sure you get a consistent dose, Soul Wizard. You've been, wow, really, Soul Wizard? That's crazy. You've been on Rumble since day one. It's funny because you're not, I wouldn't call you a regular. I've seen your name a few times, but that's wild that this is your first time and you're getting a massive discount, man. I'm stoked for you. So hold on a second. Paper Doll is in Australia and it's already Friday the 13th there. Holy shit. By the way, Paper Doll, how's your gas prices there? The Ides of March, IDES, Fight for Justice. So the Ides of March is like March 15th. It's called the Ides of March. And it's the anniversary of, what's his name? Julius Caesar's assassination. It's like a big deal for the occult that day. And I screenshotted it. The last time that there was a Friday the 13th before an Ides of March was in 2020. And before that was 2015. Before that was 2009. And before that was 1998. So there's sometimes like a decade in between Ides of Marches being next to Friday the 13th. It's a big deal. So that's interesting, eh? We'll see what happens. Oh, so the documentary, let me find it for you guys real quick. I'll send you the link, actually. BitChute. BitChute has stuff that you sometimes don't find on Rumble. Like BitChute is even less censored, but you can't like stream on there or anything. Like Rumble is better in that way. Okay, so nukes are fake. Hold on a second. It's supposed to be several hours long. Hold on a sec. I probably have it because I've watched it on my computer before, so I'll just go to my history and type in nukes. Okay, I'm sure that that history is database somewhere, but apparently not on my computer. Keep looking, you guys will find it at some point. Maybe use ChatGPT. No, I'm just kidding. Then you'd be supporting those trillion-watt computer system actions. Yeah, it was him, Strong Ass. It probably was him, man. You're right, it probably was him. But the documentary is called something to the effect of "Nuclear Bombs Are Not Real" or "Nukes Are Fake." Shout out to Chris James. Chris James, he said, Shane, did you see the gravity stuff they were talking about in August? Yeah, Chris, I did see that. They're saying that, but it's not from NASA, eh? Like losing gravity in August. I was going to post about it, but it seems like it was just like a funny viral meme kind of thing. Yeah, it's completely false. A fabricated conspiracy theory, according to NASA and experts. A 7-second loss of gravity. I'm pretty sure if there was just no gravity, like if you're in your house, like you're just going to float up to the ceiling. I don't think your house is going to float away. So you'd be fine. Just be home. If you're driving though, oh fuck. You lose gravity. But it's not even gravity. See, this is the thing. Nikola Tesla knew there's no such thing as gravity, man. It's totally fake. It's electromagnetism and buoyancy, or density rather. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna shout out the live real quick on Rumble. Sorry, on Instagram. I'm gonna shout out the live on Instagram, which means we only have 4 bags left of the free chocolate powder. We're going to get probably another 100 people on here. So if you're on the fence and you're on the site, make sure you quickly place your order with the code 44life. Get the 44% off lifetime discount. You can cancel or modify at any time, and you will get the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. Let me double check if that is the one there dialed. Copy. Let's see if that's the one. Yes, it is. Okay, everyone. This is the documentary. And by the way, it reminds me of the documentary of thank you, Dialed. Dialed is dialed, man, I gotta say. That is wild, man. So everyone watch that documentary that I just put, copy and paste that somehow. But I'm telling you right now, nukes may very well be completely fake. What kind of last name is Wiener? Like, really, Anthony Weiner? Like, and he just happens to be like a creepy freaking weirdo too. There's another guy I just saw a viral video. His last name was Larson, and he was being the cops were chasing him for arson. Crazy, eh? Fight for Justice. So the discount, no, so the site is based in USD, so it's US dollars. The 44% off lifetime discount saves you a lot more than just the exchange rate with 44% off. And then you can ask Chalk, so then you're getting the free lit too. But yeah, the exchange rate. I know it is what it is, but the way I figure it, I've spent a lot of money in the past. McDonald's, GMO stuff, fluoride. We all have. I like the idea of, like, for example, we get our meat from these organic butchers, right? And like, I could go to Walmart. Oh, no kidding. Like, Walmart would be just, it's a walk in the park, man. You walk in there, you get greeted by very interesting people who work there, you know, the people of Walmart. But anyways, it feels good to invest in, you know, your health and whatnot, because it really is an investment rather than an expense. But yeah, anyway, it is in USD, Fight for Justice. But the discount code also takes off 44% off USD prices, which is freaking strong. my husband, who's an engineer, is flipping out because he heard when you said that gravity doesn't exist. Oh, well, Far North fan, like, I know that would sound crazy. I know that would sound crazy, but Nikola Tesla, his whole thing, which is why part of the reason why he was silenced and they rug pulled his funding and all that, is because he had a very different view on how this world, what laws govern it. And it's a deep dive, but they have basically built a language and a science around not quite accurate science, but it's enough that it seems legit. And to question it would be very weird because it seems like it all adds up. Kind of like the law of thermodynamics, right? According to the laws of thermodynamics, you cannot have free energy. There's no such thing. But there is many, many patents, which a patent doesn't necessarily mean it works, by the way. But when you have guys who make patents for things that seem to be generating free energy, they get what's known as black shelved. And there's a whole, there's articles, there's documentaries on this about how there's agencies specifically devoted to categorizing patents when they're filed. And if it has anything to do with generating electricity or energy in a different kind of way than is conventional, it gets classified as a security risk, a national security risk, and they black shelve the patent, which means it never sees the light of day again and it doesn't get out there. And if that's basically what happened to Stanley Meyer when he patented his water-powered car, I know that's not free energy, it's hydrogen, but they pipe people down. So Nikola Tesla, his whole thing with his, was free energy, right? It's in the ether. There's electromagnetism. You can harness it. Same thing with Victor Schauberger. But my point is, if the laws of thermodynamics disprove the capability of free energy, but then you have patents and technologies and inventors who disproved the laws of thermodynamics because there is free energy. You can get free energy. So the way it was framed in the documentary called Thrive, which is a very famous documentary, everyone should watch, it's pretty wild. Either the laws of thermodynamics are wrong or they are misunderstood or not quite accurate, either or, because there is free energy. So in relation to the gravity thing, Nikola Tesla said it's all about electromagnetism and density is what really governs this world, not gravity. Because you know why also gravity is fake? Part of the reason they needed to make the lie of gravity, A, is to take us away from like the true science of this realm. But also, water does not ever stick to anything that has a centrifugal force, right? As a beekeeper, when it's time to harvest the hives, you go in with a hive tool. It looks like a big fork with a bunch of spikes on it, and you pick off the lids that the bees put on all the cells. They cap the cells with honey. They put a cap on top. You take all the caps off. You put it in a centrifugal force honey spinner, and it spins. And the centrifugal force throws the honey out of the cells, hits the wall of the honey spinner, and then goes to the bottom where it gets filtered once, and then it's honey, and then boom, bang, bing. Water doesn't stick to a ball, but the earth is a ball apparently, and it's spinning at a ridiculous speed, but water sticks to it. How? Because of gravity. The mass of the earth's gravity is holding that water to the earth. You can't recreate that. Like, you can't observe water sticking to something that's spinning. Centrifugal force sends everything outward, but except for the earth. In fact, the earth is the only thing that doesn't adhere to like that law or that commonly witnessable thing, which is that the centrifugal force sends things flying off of it. The earth is the only thing where that does not happen. Interesting. I wonder if it's because, Well, put it this way. It's interesting if you do a deep dive in all the scientific official numbers of how fast the Earth is spinning, what axis tilt it's on, and all that, because they all have 666s in them. The Earth spins at 66,666 some odd miles, or it rotates rather around the sun at 66,600 miles. Its axis is 66.6 degrees. It's Masonic science. It's encoded. They're telling you it's fake. It's not a spinning ball. I need to do a post about Call of Duty, man. Hold on a sec. Call of Duty, Black Ops symbolism. There's a lot of Illuminati symbolism in there. Everyone should know Richtofen. D-Lone, explain that more, dude. Explain that more, because I would post about that, dude. Oh, and also, by the way, two more things about that. Actually, let me go live quick, and then I'll tell you guys all about that. What I'm about to say. Let me write it down though. Long day of Joshua and NASA is old news. We know they're totally full of baloney. Long day of Joshua. What was the other thing? Water sticks to windows. Yeah, that's right. The long day of Joshua. Yeah, that's it. There's another one I'll think of in 2 seconds. Hold on. Yeah, for sure. Water has memory. That's why, you don't want to be talking smack about yourself to yourself. That's not good for the water that's in you. But yeah, no, the long day of Joshua, it's funny how they said that he commanded God to stop the sun and the moon from rotating to extend the daylight rather than asked or, prayed to God that the earth stopped spinning around the sun. That's very interesting. Also, I never heard about planets in the Bible either. I don't know. Are there planets? I don't think so. What's going on, everyone? That's why aliens are fake too. Like, there's a big agenda coming around the corner with aliens, dude. With the release of that documentary, Disclosure. What's going on, everyone? So they do care. People are caring right now. Munoz. People are waking up, man, big time. So, guys, just so you know, Denmark is already doing energy lockdowns. They're asking people, please, please, please stay home to save lives. No, to save fuel. After they do it for long enough, it's eventually going to be normalized that we can be dictated to about travel restrictions. And also, they're going to be saying climate lockdowns. We've all heard about it. Didn't we already have a climate lockdown in like Nova Scotia? They said it's really dry out, so no one's allowed to go into the forest. Do you remember that? Dude, and every country in the world, by the way, is totalitarian tiptoeingly getting closer and closer to digital ID, everything. Even Moscow. I found out Moscow is one of the most heavily surveilled cities in the world with facial recognition. And they basically have digital ID there as well. So we're about to see, oh, by the way, holy shit. This is Friday the 13th tomorrow. On Sunday, it's the Ides, I-D-E-S, the Ides of March. The last time there was a Friday the 13th before the Ides of March was 2020. What happened in 2020? Yeah, dude. Some shit's coming around the corner. We're doing a deep dive on this and how space is fake and gravity is also fake. I know you may be thinking, is there really a conspiracy with gravity? Yes. But we're doing it on my Rumble channel because you got to be really careful about what we're discussing on Instagram. I've gotten strikes before for talking about really vanilla stuff, literally just about fluoride. I've gotten a strike. So I don't want any more strikes. I just had to pay a lot of money to get my account back. So I want to keep it. So if you want to tune in, come on over. Oh, yeah, that's right. Good Lion TV said 6 years since. That's right. 6 years. Perhaps there's an encoding there. All this stuff, everything's encoded, eh? They love their numerology. So we're doing a deep dive on this on my Rumble channel, which is free to download, free to watch, and free speech. It's at the link in my bio. I don't know who owns Rumble, but I know that Rumble is the one place where I've never gotten a single strike, and I talk about all kinds of stuff. I don't have to bite my tongue, and it's pretty user friendly too. So I do like Rumble, and there's documentaries on Rumble that are totally banned on YouTube, eh? So that's another reason I like Rumble. Anyway, and it's the 250th anniversary of America. That's right. Yeah, dude, something strange is happening. So we're live on Rumble. It's at the link in my bio. If you want to tune in, click the link in my bio, and then you'll see the Rumble link. Click that. It's free to download, it's free to watch, and it's free speech. Or alternatively, you can go and comment the word Rumble on any one of my posts, and you'll get the link sent directly to your DMs. But don't comment Rumble on the live. That doesn't get you the link. But if you comment it on a post, you'll get the link right to your DMs. So we're talking about that. Also, we're talking about the potential, if you're in the West Coast, they're warning about like droning strikings. There's apparently an Iranian mothership, if you can believe that. I don't really believe it. And now they're talking about sleeper cells. Like, dude, people are wondering. I read Calavier said, I read 5 years worth of climate science in 2 months. We are completely done. Well, dude, climate science. You might as well study the science of astrology, man. I'm trying to give you an example of something that's fake. Climate science, don't worry about climate science. Yes, we need to stop polluting the environment. Don't worry about the climate. The climate's fine. Worry about climate engineering and climate modification, not climate science. You'd be surprised. Al Gore, there's a lot of fakeness going on. Shout out to Butterdog, man. He's cracking up. Okay, we'll see you guys on Rumble. I don't want to get in trouble on it here, okay? Love you guys. Come to Rumble. It's at the link in my bio. But I totally agree, Cavalier. Community is the way out. One of the ways out, 100%. Okay, I hope to see you guys all on Rumble and answer all your questions there as well, because we're doing a Q&A. All right, we'll see you there. Climate science. Well, no shit, dude. Climate science is super whack, because if you do anything, I remember in school, they pulled us out of school to go to the gymnasium to look at some presentation, right? And in this presentation, these literally 2 dweebs came up there. No, they're dear souls, and they convinced this whole audience of young, malleable minds that the earth is warming, and every degree in temperature that the temperature rises, this many animals will die off. And I always thought it made no fucking sense, because, like, for example, in Ontario, where I live, it's 30 degrees above zero in the summer. It's hot out, it's humid. In the winter, it's minus 30, a 60-degree temperature range. You're telling me 1 fucking degree of global temperature, woo, like it's the stupidest thing ever. I can't believe anyone believes that shit. So that's what they told us, is every temperature increment, we lose more and more things, and the earth is going to just be dying. But the warmest places in the world have the most biodiversity. The warmest ocean, the Indian Ocean, and next to Malaysia there, is the warmest part of the ocean in the world, and they have the most biodiversity. If Ontario, where I live, had less winter and it was warmer, we would have a longer growing season. We could grow more food. If the earth actually warmed, all the northern states would be able to grow a shitload more food. But apparently, you know what I mean? Like, it's a freaking joke. And then they changed it from global warming to climate change, because climate change is more vague. Like, it could be hot as hell out or cold as hell out, if that makes sense. And either way, and it can be out of season, right? Like, it's summer, but it's like hailing, or like it's winter and it's like raining. If the weather does anything weird, they can just call it climate change. Whereas if there's a blizzard in July, they can't say it's global warming. Everyone's like, what are you talking about, global warming? That makes no sense. It's cold. So they changed it to climate change. It's more generic. You can put that stamp on any weather event and you're good to go. But the thing is that what they do is they convince you when you're growing up in school, the climate's changing. It's so horrible. It's because we're driving our cars to and from work. And because of carbon. Yet companies will buy carbon dioxide emitting devices and generators to put in their greenhouses to increase the yield and growth rate of the plants. Carbon dioxide is a vital plant nutrient. It's not that trees absorb carbon and they're a carbon sink. Trees feed off of carbon. If there was more carbon in the atmosphere, trees would grow faster. All plants would grow faster. You inhaling would be even more energizing and vibrational. So we've been lied to. There is no climate change. There is global hijacking of the Earth's natural weather systems with a billion chemtrails and weather modification operations. There is no climate change. It's not that every planet in our solar system is actually like there's multi levels to the psyop, right? At the first level of climate denial, which is fucking hilarious that they call it a denial, because when you call someone a denier, it infers that they're denying something that is true, right? So it's just funny. One of the levels of psyop is, well, it's actually the whole solar system that's warming. It's because the sun is going through this solar cycle. That's bullshit. There's no planets. There's no solar system. There's no warming. It's the same. There's cycles, sure, but it's not to do with the sun and all this. It's probably just energy. And by the way, the Ice Age, I don't even know if there was an Ice Age, dude. The woolly mammoths probably got hunted out because they were like bigger and slower than elephants, and they had a lot more fur you could do stuff with. Like, could you imagine what you could do with a woolly mammoth's? Actually, wait a minute. Did woolly mammoths even exist? Because a skull of a woolly mammoth looks just like a fucking elephant. Anyways, these are things you have to think about when you realize you've been lied to about literally everything. You got to admit, so by the way, isn't it interesting that on the long day of Joshua in the Bible, this is funny. They didn't really willy-nilly the way they wrote these things down, right? It was pretty clear that the long day of Joshua, during this battle, Joshua prayed and asked God to stop the sun and the moon from rotating around the earth to extend daylight to finish this battle. He didn't say stop the earth from rotating around the sun in space and stop the other planets for a minute too. I love that one, man. It's just funny. Yeah, there is no planets, there's no space, there's no aliens. There could be entities from outside the ice wall, yes, but we'll get to that. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the climate, the energy lockdowns. This is going to be like COVID, but at least they won't be mass vaccinating people, I hope. Like, imagine getting vaxxed for like war. Like, what would that do? I don't know. So vaxes don't sound like they're coming. How could they spin this into a vax program though? We got to keep our head on a swivel, man, because they have all these kinds of things planned. Before we get into the energy lockdowns and what they're really going to try to plan to do with this thing and how they're going to try to connect it with the digital ID and also the social credit system and all this other crazy stuff, I do want to mention there's never been a more important time in human history to be detoxing the heavy metals, the phthalates, the microplastics, the pesticides, decalcifying your pineal gland, and being of sound mind and sound body. So I wanted to announce the last call on the free $100 bags of the chocolate powder that we're giving away on tonight's live. Organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, which massively stimulates stem cell production, super detoxing, delicious, and boosts your gut microbiome, which is more important than most people will give their. Don't be scared, Ev Scott Ruby. Fear not. Remember, fear not. Have no fear. It says it 365 times. Remember. Free lit powder. It also stimulates stem cell production, which stem cells go and repair damaged tissue and damaged cells in your body. So very, very powerful. We have 3 bags left to give away on the live. The way the deal works is it is first come, first serve. The way you go to chalk.com, I just put the link in the chat that goes to chalk.com. Chalk is based in the United States. They ship out of Georgia. They have an all-American customer service team, and they have over 5,000 third-party verified 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. So choq.com, you go to chalk.com. The #1 supplement for men and women, and it is first come, first serve, is the hot water purified Shilajit. So this is a hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It stimulates the production of new brain cells. It boosts testosterone for men, which guys' testosterone levels today, if you're not actively trying to boost your testosterone, you 100% are in a lowered state of testosterone because of the chemicals, heavy metals, contaminants, pesticides, GMOs, even Wi-Fi disrupts your hormones. It's shocking, dude. There's a chemical covert assault on humanity right now. A lot of people may not realize the extent of it, but it is quite extensive. So hot water purified Shilajit, hormones for guys, it boosts testosterone. For girls, it optimizes your endocrine system. It's pro-fertile. And shout out to Castillo, who just got a ton of chalk the other day, and he's loving it. He said, if anyone's skeptical, don't be. The products are legit. He just came on the. This is like his fifth live. He already got his chalk. He's taking it. He's probably on the 20-day chalk challenge, maybe 10-day even, Castillo. But he's going to be feeling like $1 million, if not already. Bruce Lee, Genghis Khan, Vladimir Putin, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all have taken or took or take consistently the hot water purified Shilajit. It is a superfood. I recommend everyone, if you have one thing you take, it should be Shilajit. It's called the Destroyer of Weakness, and it also has compounds in it that stimulate the production of new brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. And so that is new brain cells, which gives you memory, concentration, focus, mental clarity through the roof, through the yin yang. It's freaking amazing. That's the Shilajit. The second most popular supplement, superfood for men and women, is the organic ashwagandha, which is considered the king of herbs in India. It's a pro-fertility superfood, so it's extremely pro-fertile. It massively boosts melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. And it's a hormone optimizer. Plus, we have 43 or 46 clinical studies on it. It is one of the top superfoods at chalk.com. It's in both the male and female stack. So the way the deal works to get the free bags of lit powder, you go to chalk.com, CHOQ.com, you put the male vitality stack or the female vitality stack in your cart. You apply the discount code 44life, which gives you a lifetime 44% off discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And automatically you're going to get the free $100 bag of chocolate powder included in your order. You're not going to see it on your order form, but it's going to be physically placed into your box when it's packed up. And that'll be to your house in 2 to 7 business days. Pretty quick shipping. Again, they ship out of Georgia. So primo freaking delivery. And when you get it, by the way, the lit powder, you can have it literally by the spoon dry. It is that freaking good. So this is pretty much the last call. We only have 3 bags left, and apparently a bunch of people are on the site right now. So make sure, if you want the freebie and the discount, place your order ASAP. The third superfood, by the way, in the male vitality stack is the Tomcat 100, which boosts free testosterone 87% in 21 days. Again, testosterone levels are off a cliff today. It's a good idea to boost them. It also is pro-fertile, hormone optimizer, sperm count and sperm motility. And we have 23 clinical studies on it. I'm actually going to take 2 right now. And then in the female stack, the third superfood is the Irish moss, the wild-crafted Irish moss. Keep in mind, most Irish moss is farmed in the Caribbean, and it's full of microplastics, whereas the Irish moss that Chalk has is wild-crafted from Nova Scotia, far, far, far away from any a million islands that don't treat their gray water. That's what happens in the Caribbean. They don't treat their gray water, right? Yeah, exactly, Ashley. Me too. Like, I used to swear all the time. Now I barely ever swear at all, man. Thank you to Christ is King, man. He's keeping us on our toes. Apparently, a bunch of female stacks are in people's carts right now. You cannot go wrong on a female stack. We should have a female on the live to tell you about it, but I'll tell you about it myself. Shilajit, healthy hair, skin, and nails. Irish moss, hair, skin, and nails. Both fertility boosters. The minerals, by the way, the bioavailable minerals, they actually increase the nutrients that you're able to absorb from the food you're already eating now, because every single vitamin requires a mineral to activate it. So if you're getting the full matrix of minerals because you're taking the Shilajit or the Irish moss, you are getting more nutrients from the food you're already getting, that you're already buying to begin with. And that's because the state of our freaking soil, man, is not the same way it used to be. I'll tell you that right now. And, you know, the other interesting thing is that in school, they really didn't teach us a single thing about the importance of soil microbiome, the soil biome, the bacteria in the soil. It's supposed to be healthy, like virgin, clean, pure soil. that is naturally decomposing and it's got this ecosystem to it has a bajillion bacteria in it. That bacteria is supposed to break down the rocks in the soil, the minerals in the soil, and make it bioavailable to the plant. When you spray synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, and all this crazy stuff, it disrupts the biome, it stops the bacteria, it kills the bacteria, but it stops it also from breaking down those minerals and making them bioavailable to the plant. And that's why it's not in the animals, the cows, the animals that we eat, or the plants, of course. So it's shocking, man. It really is. And we didn't hear about that because what? They don't want you knowing the truth about what the Sam Dam is going on. So this guy posted on Twitter and he said, a false flag so horrific and so enraging that it rallies the entire American citizenry behind going to war. I don't know if we need that. So I don't know if I believe this fully, but what can that be? Taking down a few airlines with Iranian drone, quote unquote, Iranian drone. Blaming Iran and also issuing a mandatory grounding of all flights for 2 weeks to stop the continuous drone attacks, which will never stop, aka the end of commercial flying. What will Americans opt for instead? Driving. But with gas and diesel at $10 a gallon, as well as massive shortages, who can afford or obtain that? Wow. Achieving one of the main tenets of Agenda 2030. Wow. So hold on. New York Post just posted an ex-Top Gun pilot warns Iran's drones could be used to attack U.S. commercial flights. Frig, eh? So maybe that's how they're going to try to spin it, man. I have heard many times over the years that there is a plan to like be rid of um commercial flying, and how it eventually would be something to the effect of like for the climate, but then this would hit two birds stoned at once because it would be like no one wants to fly because drones are striking, and then also airlines are out of business because they weren't hedging the oil costs. You guys hear about that? Strange things around the corner. You know, it's like I want to fly and check out some places, but I don't want to get stuck there if something crazy happens. Like, you know what I mean? Hold on a second. So there's a bunch of people on the site right now. Female stacks, male stacks, male and female stack. You're getting 44% off for life with that discount code and the free lit. Make sure you place your order ASAP because we actually are. This is the last call. We have 3 more bags of the chocolate powder, and there's more than 3 people on the site right now trying to get or adding stuff to their cart. Just make sure you apply the discount to the subscription, not the one-time order, so that it applies the 44% off for life, and then you're getting that free lit. Dude, Bill Gates, is he even real? Like, I mean, I know what you mean. If you were to just take him at face value, like he definitely is an evil bastard. But like, are these guys? Some of them, I wonder if they're freaking clones, man. Really. Wow, Crisis King. We were talking about that. That it is interesting. I used to think Project Bluebeam would be a fake alien invasion, and then somehow they pushed the New World Order through that. But instead, this is the word on the street that there's going to be a rapture, and apparently in past raptures biblically described it as looking like a giant mothership in the sky, um like a city in the sky or a big craft in the sky. And if there was a rapture, the mainstream could say it's aliens, which would make the normies be like, oh god, it's aliens. The conspiracy theorists would think, oh, it's a Project Bluebeam, but then it actually is the rapture. But how would that really work, I wonder, Crisis King? Like, what would the rapture look like? It's so because we never lived through it. I was thinking about that earlier. Like, we none of our parents really, unless any of you are Chinese, or I don't know what other countries have had famines, but we've never really had a famine other than if you're Chinese, your grandparents might live through it, right? So I feel anyway, like removed from what crazy, shocking events and war and freaking horrible situations societally. that it feels surreal to think some of the stuff, you know, we're very fortunate where we are, but let's hope it stays that way. And then for the whole world too, of course, because a lot of places it's not a fun time right now, man. It is a satanic influence in this world, you have to say. Are the forces of good fully pulling, running the show right now with bombs dropping all over the place? I don't really think so, man. Um, yeah, freaking lockdowns, man. The rapture triggers the tribulation period. I know, but what would that look like? Eh? That's my thoughts. It's like I can believe it for sure. I mean, I'm still so new to it, but I can imagine that's going to happen. But what would that look like? That would be so great, though. If everything, all the evil was just purged, and all the good came in its place. Did you know that? Did you guys hear about how the rainbow was apparently a promise from God that He would never flood the earth again or destroy the earth again? You guys hear about that? Yeah, that's right, Castillo. That's right, man. So, anyways, hold on a second. I have a few other screenshots to go over with you guys that are shocking breaking news. Um, President Putin's special envoy, Kirill Dmitriev, says this is just the beginning of the largest energy crisis ever. Um, so, this is what I was thinking. Isn't it a little bit strange that we have been, like, picture this for a second. We have 100% been strong armed into being dependent on oil, right? 100%. And so now that we're totally dependent on oil, like our countries are, now we have an oil crisis. This is totally, totally a psyop. This is another COVID. There's an agenda, there's an angle, a million people are going to fall for it. It's because of the war. They've been talking about this has been prophesized for so long. Go into war, Iran, Russia, China. It's going to be this global thing, and it's supposed to be to push forward the new world order. We all know this. But the average normal person will think, oh, like Iran's like building nukes, like we have to get them. Oh, like Russia joined them, we got to fight Russia too. There's going to be people just cheering this thing on without the knowledge that it is a part of a very interesting plan. Uh, but you know what? I don't have any fear. I mean, I have the odd thought of like, okay, I hope that there's not a famine, but I don't have fear of the end game. I just hope everyone's children are safe and okay through this thing, whatever is about to be around the corner. Um, that's the thing, man. The kids, you got to think about the kids, man. They got to be protected, man. And that's what another thing, watching back after the Epstein shit came out, Michael Jackson clearly was trying to make a statement, man. And he saw what was going on. And that's why they silenced him. And he was speaking out about it too. They hit different. Some of his interviews hit different now after reading some of that stuff, which I'm not going to read anymore. But I knew that shit was going on. But you know what I mean? Castillo for sure, man. Which is an interesting thing that um, it's like it's good that all this other stuff is getting exposed, but I go back to like the basics. Like there should be mass public protests for the fact that they're strapping smart meters to people's homes, which is horribly damaging to the DNA of whoever's on the other side of that wall where the smart meter is. And many times, like this room I'm in right now was the bedroom of one of the kids in the previous owner's when he owned this house, and the smart meter was on the wall behind me, and that's where her bed was. The little, I don't know if it was a girl actually, but the child's room, the bed was right up against that friggin' wall where the smart meter was. So their head was like a foot away from it. That is not proper, man. If you do a deep dive on smart meters, they shouldn't be on our houses. They shouldn't even exist. So that needs to be exposed too. But maybe that's the least of our worries with World War III coming around the corner, to be honest. But I still think about it. And then GMOs too. Kids shouldn't be eating McDonald's, man. And not because of the calories, but because of the, you know, uh, other elements of it, the spiritual effects of it. Because I'll never post about it, but you guys have seen the clips of the guy saying there's human meat and all that. I mean, is he just willy nillying around, or I think he was being serious? Yeah, Christian dude Isaac, exactly, man. Well, people are wondering why there is not many. Have you noticed any new graveyards going up? That's probably easily explained, but that is an interesting thought. It's like, whoa, actually, no. When's the last time you've seen a graveyard that's being put up, you know? Nodak, did you guys see? I can't believe I did not expect this in this timeline, but Hillary Clinton being deposed about frazzle drip, and she like got all squirmy. Do you guys remember that? Or rather, did you guys see that? I would have never thought, because that was like Pizzagate style stuff. The fact that they deposed Hillary Clinton and asked her about that file, which the creepy part about it, I don't know if you guys heard, there's some video on Anthony Weiner's laptop. I can't believe that's his name. And it was Hillary Clinton. Anyway, it's a pretty shocking video. But it was said to make even the most hardened New York City police like get violently ill. And then 9 out of the 12 cops who apparently watched the video committed suicide. So, yeah, what else do you take from that, man? Ashley said, so when they found the human DNA in the food, what did they do with it? Well, you know what it is, Ashley? The cover story is like, well, you know, we have all these factory workers and like the odd hair skin cell like falls in or whatever. But they found a tooth in Japan's McDonald's. And Japan, I don't know if you know, surely many of you do. They're a pretty orderly, cleanly bunch over there. The streets, a guy went viral because he put clean, brand new white socks on. He walked around downtown, the busiest part of Tokyo, and then took his socks off, and they were still white. Like the streets are literally very clean. And anyway, they found a human tooth in a McDonald's something. Dude, what the hell is in that? Just the rest of the body, but the tooth didn't get grinded up. Like, I don't know, man. But don't eat McDonald's. And don't drink any of those energy drinks either. They are also satanic. Well, you know, and what gets fact checked, and so I won't really post about, but Monster Energy Drink has like 7 different things about it that are clearly either making a mockery of Christ or just being overtly satanic. Like the M is actually 3 different letters on the Monster M. If you look closely, they're not touching each other. The 3 stripes on the M, they're not touching each other. They look identical to in Hebrew the number 6 in Hebrew writing, Hebrew letters, alphabet. Um, that they are absolutely a 6 on the front. It says on it, "Unleash the beast." Right, the beast. Um, what else did it say on it? Some other stuff, but also that well, what's in it is definitely no good for you. But yeah, there was a few other parts of Monster about how it was satanic. But then of course we have oh, didn't you hear the new Monster came out? It's called okay, Bad Apple. Okay, yeah, get this. Monster is totally satanic, dude. They launch Bad Apple, okay, and their promo for it, it's a woman holding an apple, okay? Eve, the sin, the first sin, holding an apple, and it's in like a smoky pot. It looks like a cauldron. It looks um like witchcraft. Anyway, it's just too and of course like they call it bad apple. Well, how come they wouldn't have a guy holding the apple on it? Why is it a girl? Well, for obvious reasons. It's a pun, or it's a connection to Eve. It's insinuating or talking about the first sin. So, and you can claim that it looks like a devil's claw mark. That's right. And in the O has the oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Delone. The monster energy, the O where it says monster, when you drink it, the O is upside down, which shows you an upside down cross. That's right. Dude, Crisis King, are you raid FEMA death camps? No way. So didn't you used to have that username on Rumble? Dude, you should have told me that you're like an OG guy. I thought you were new here. If you are raid FEMA death camps, then you are an OG, man. Christian says, I struggle to believe so much, bro. Like I've seen so many evidences and yet I struggle with it, bro. But I know it's real with genuinely piss me off. Well, dude, I hear you, Christian, but don't be pissed off, but it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, okay? But you're good, man. You're on the path. You're waking up. Don't feel like you need to be angry or you need to be just because it's not the best vibrational frequency emotion. But focus on what you can change. Be positive, high vibrations. Again, the greatest, best days are ahead. Keep speaking your truth, man, and don't self censor around friends and family. You do want to sprinkle the truth on there. But to be honest, I say that to you, but it's like when I hang out with my family, I'm not like extended family. It's kind of just, I don't really say too much because I already kind of blew it years ago when I tried to tell them about like the Rothschilds control the banks and everything. And so now, so now I just kind of, I think I've been labeled myself as like a conspiracy theorist, right? So I feel like they specifically avoid topics that they know I would like. To me, it's kind of cringe to when you hang out to like not talk about the state of our countries and what's going on with them politically. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of the biggest thing that's going on right now. And I guess someone would say like we're chronically online, like we're online too much, we're reading too much, we're researching too much, but I feel like it's better to, it's called knowledge is power, right? My whole family is awake. Oh, dude, Isaac, if your whole family is awake, you're in a great spot, dude. That is freaking awesome. Though my friends at school didn't get it, called me insane. Yeah, I kind of got a new friend group when I became aware, man. Or mostly just did not chill with them anymore. Not out of spite or anything, but it was just like I'm not really trying to hang out and just kind of shoot the bull. So then I didn't even hang out with anyone for I guess I was almost like a not a hermit, but I didn't have any desire to hang out with any of my friends from when I was like 20 to let me do the math. I don't know. From like 2015 or 2016 to like 2019, I barely chilled with anyone. I literally just started posting on Instagram, making memes and learning. And that's what also when I got out of school, when you get out of school is when you actually, or at least for me, when I got out of school is when I actually started learning. Um, and that whole time I was like in my own zone, man, which was cool because I did like 8-day water fasts. I started meditating all the time. Like, dude, being alone is freaking important. It's great to be alone. You can choose to be lonely, but I wasn't freaking lonely. I was stoked to be able to. First thing, when you're alone, you know that wherever you put something down, when you go to get it, it's going to be right there. So that is one pro of being alone. Um, but also, you're stuck with yourself. And I noticed that some of my family members were incapable of being by themselves. Whether it's they always got to be with friends, they always got to be with someone, they always got to have a girlfriend or whatever, but they could never be by themselves. Any spare moment they were hanging out with a friend or whatever, they're never by themselves. That to me is an indicator of like, and I know if one of, I don't think any of you guys are like that, but if you were, you may feel threatened. This is the thing. When people have such radically different lifestyles, it can make one feel threatened as if they're doing something in the wrong lifestyle. But that's not the case. I'm just saying, like, if you can't be by yourself, I'm not going to say that's a problem because that's me looking at it in a negative way. But like, there is something to that if you cannot be alone. Um, you know what I mean? So, because, and also it's hard for me because when I was alone those years, or I lived at like my nan's house, and then I was renting a room off this guy. Um, I just didn't feel like chilling with anyone because I also didn't have my shit figured out. And obviously, parents are like, "Are you going to school? Like, are you going to college?" Um, so I was like, I don't really want to hang out with anyone right now because I don't even have my like life figured out. So I'm not trying to just shoot the bull. And also, I had no money, so like, what are we gonna do? Like, sit around? Like, I'd rather just focus on what I'm trying to focus on, you know? Anyways, my point is though, is that because of how much I grew and learned from being alone, I kind of, when I look at some of my family members, I'm like, dude, pretty sure you'd benefit significantly from being alone for a while and stop hanging out all the time with all your friends all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Shout out to Isaac. He said, I love this. Never have really been on a live stream, but this is fun, lol. Dude, I know it's cool. We can discuss in real time, man. Gray said, did you just ignore them? Yeah, there was a period where I basically just ghosted them, or they'd be like, yo, like, we gotta chill soon, man. And it just, for like months, it was like, yo, we really gotta chill soon. I'm like, yeah, man, totally. And then I just like would never follow up. I wasn't being rude, but I also wasn't gonna say, like I'm not down to chill right now because that's just a bit like, dude, if you guys are like, feel no qualms about being like, yeah, I got some other stuff going on, man. Like, don't feel flustered about choosing to be alone and what your friends will think. Like, friends, dude, I have a totally different, what I thought was the most important friends like ever growing up and like in high school, even like my friend Ben. Love Ben. If I saw him today, it would feel like we, friggin' there hasn't been 10 years since we hung out. It would feel like we just picked up where we left off. But you have different friends as you grow, not only in age, but also in like awareness about what's going on. Like my friend group now is like, first thing, friends who have families, so all the kids can play. And then it's like homesteading, animals, farm, planting food, hunting, four wheeling, snowmobiling. Those are fun parts. Ice fishing, like with families and fun. I love that, man. not the same friends I used to chill with, you know. So you'll be into a new circle before you know it. Soul Wizard said, I found if you speak truthfully, you'll get a better response than what you'd expect. Yeah, I guess for me, I wasn't like prepared to be like, yo, I do not want to hang out with any of you guys anymore. You know what I mean? I just was like, yeah, man, like we'll see if we end up chilling. I know they also thought I was crazy though, because this is why some people are scared to post stuff online too, because they're thinking like, what about my friends? They'll see me. Dude, a ton of people I haven't talked to in many, many years from my high school all follow me. And I'm like stoked because I'm like, this was never about me though. When I started my Instagram, it wasn't like, I am Shane Vibes. Like, I am me. Let me tell you all about my life. It was like, yo, like they're putting fluoride in the water. You know, I made it about the message, which you guys have heard me say before. But there is something that adds like credence to being like, yeah, you see Shane, like he's got 1 million followers. To me, the numbers, I'm not like counting up and calculating, but I know that for them, unless they're on the same wavelength as us, they see that as like, whoa, like it's a big deal. And so maybe they'll take, if there's 1.5 million more, if there's millions of people who also are thinking the same way, that some shit is going on that's strange, that would add to their ability to even fathom it. You know what I mean? So that's one good thing. But anyways, don't be afraid of posting because of your friends or whatever, because then you'll go viral and then anyway. Um, if you love something, let them go. Yeah, if you love a flower, don't pick it. Exactly, Ashley. I lost all of my friends. I love them, but if you, yeah, lost, I would say, you know, one door closes, another one opens. If you wanted to go hang out with them right now, I'm sure you could be like, ooh, like let's chill, wine night. But instead, you know, um, girls' night, you know, instead you're doing your own thing. I think that's great. Far north. Um, yeah, great. I'm just thinking for you, man. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of ignored them. Like, yeah, I wouldn't reply super fast, like fastly and whatnot. I mean, dude, think about it. It was the time of high school's over. Friends are going to college, university. There was like summers. They'd come back. Yo, like let's chill. I just didn't really feel like going and shooting the bull, man. I was in a dialed state. I was like, I'm fasting right now. I'm drinking Shilajit water. I'm taking freaking bentonite clay. You know, and I was in the zone as I am now, but back then it was with making posts rather than with making videos. So, you know, I felt like if I'm not making a post or researching or watching a documentary or listening to interviews, that I was like falling behind, which is a good feeling to have, I think. Crisis King said, actually, the worst time of human history is about to unfold. God's wrath is coming. So that's why Crisis King repent is saying, repent, get right with God. He's saying it better than I currently am. But um, wouldn't it be like the best time in history though, because like the evil is being purged? Christ is king, don't you think? No, Doc. I tried talking to some of my friends about it, but like the thing is that because yeah, like I taught, okay, well, for one, I plateaued with just chemtrails, GMOs, and fluoride. That's what I learned about at the time, and none of them were really that into it. They did think I was a bit crazy. They just didn't really think it's that a big of a deal. But especially because we were in high school still and we were like partying on the weekends and like getting drunk and smoking cigarettes. When I bring up GMOs, not wanting to eat GMOs, they're like, huh, but like you smoke, man. So like, who cares? And so then I was like, all right, well, I guess then I took my things I wanted to say to them and I just started posting about it. It was an outlet kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because I felt like if we're not talking about it, what are we even talking about? But now, dude, I have old friends who I haven't talked to in all these years, but they follow me and like my posts. So I'm sure they're getting into organicness, knowing that there's a strange plan going on, etc. You know what I mean? And today, by the way, I sooner would smoke cigarettes than eat GMOs. Like if I had to smoke a cigarette right now or eat McDonald's, I'd smoke a friggin' pack of cigarettes before I'd eat at McDonald's. No problem. Um, yes, exactly. And it's interesting, like I said before, if there was a Satan, which there is, the main thing he'd want to do is convince you there's no God. So isn't it interesting the amount of, I mean, right now, a ton of people are getting back into being born again, being aware, finding Christ, finding God, realizing there's more to this whole situation, this whole realm. But statistically speaking, like our countries, Western countries right now, are like the least believers they've ever been. Wouldn't that be part of Satan's plan to make people think they're just a random chance, there's no God, and it's just all about science, you know? So exactly. Timmy says he smokes, but he tries to make a difference. Tim, smoke till the cows come home if you want, man. Because we met on Instagram, Sonny. Because there's smokers' paradoxes. Like if you don't smoke and be like, "Oh, I'm smoking. This is horrible." Smoke if you're choosing to smoke, enjoy it. You're eating other healthy things. You're detoxing. You're bare feet are on the ground. It's not the worst thing you could be doing, man. If I had to drink fluoride, tap water, or smoke cigarettes, I would smoke cigarettes. Yes. Um, yeah, there is Mayo King. There is. Hey, Mayo King, is that username in reference to Mayo functional therapy or just like literally mayonnaise? Let me know. Yeah, me too, Gray. Gray, we're in the same position, man. He said the more he's researched about the functions of the universe and the world, the more he's began to believe in a God. I used to be an atheist for most of my life. Dude, I wasn't an atheist. I knew there was like a higher power, but I didn't really wrap my head around the whole thing. So we're on the same page. But I think there is only one God though. There's like gods that people would be worshiping in the past, but um, there is only one true God. Some people say that there's the prime creator God, and then there's sub creators. But that was from a guy who was talking about aliens, so who knows if that's legit or not. That's right, Soul Wizard, 100%. There's more fluoride in the tap water in colder climates. Well, in colder climates have higher IQs too. So they're trying to dumb those guys down, I guess. Right? Okay, so hold on a second. I guess we'll do this is the last call, free lit powder included in your order. If you go to chalk.com and get the male or female stack with the code 44life, you're not going to see the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order, but it's going to be physically placed into your box. No, Mayo King, I was thinking of myofunctional therapy, not anything like that. And we make mayo here all the time too. So homemade mayo, do not buy Hellman's, man. So guys, thank you all for joining. Make sure your live notifications are on so you know when we're live tomorrow. We're doing another live tomorrow. Breaking shocking news. I have like 20 posts to make. Um, make sure you apply the discount code 44life. That's right, Isaiah. Isaiah, can you bring that up on the next live? Because I want to talk about that more. Remember to say that, okay? Okay, I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Keep your notifications on. Keep your head on a swivel. Goodness will prevail. All right.